Divine Reading, Acts chapter 26, verses 24 to 32. As we read the passage slowly, let us notice how Paul boldly testifies before Festus and Agrippa, declaring the truth of Christ. Festus calls him insane, but Paul insists his message is true and reasonable. Agrippa is almost persuaded, yet remains uncommitted. In KJV, Acts 26, 24 to 32. Now, as he thus made his defense, Festus said with a loud voice, Paul, you are beside yourself. Much learning is driving you mad. But he said, I am not mad, most noble Festus, but speak the words of truth and reason. For the king, before whom I also speak freely, knows these things, for I am convinced that none of these things escapes his attention, since this thing was not done in a corner. King Agrippa, do you believe the prophets? I know that you do believe. Then Agrippa said to Paul, you almost persuade me to become a Christian. And Paul said, I would to God that not only you, but also all who hear me today might become both almost and altogether such as I am, except for these chains. When he had said these things, the king stood up, as well as the governor and Bernice, and those who sat with them. And when they had gone aside, they talked among themselves, saying, this man is doing nothing deserving of death or chains. Then Agrippa said to Festus, this man might have been set free if he had not appealed to Caesar. NIV, Acts 26, 24 to 32. At this point, Festus interrupted Paul's defense. You are out of your mind, Paul, he shouted. Your great learning is driving you insane. I am not insane, most excellent Festus, Paul replied. What I am saying is true and reasonable. The king is familiar with these things, and I can speak freely to him. I am convinced that none of this has escaped his notice, because it was not done in a corner. King Agrippa, do you believe the prophets? I know you do. Then Agrippa said to Paul, do you think that in such a short time you can persuade me to become a Christian? Paul replied, short time or long, I pray to God that not only you, but all who are listening to me today may become what I am, except for these chains. The king rose, and with him the governor and Bernice and those sitting with them. After they left the room, they began saying to one another, this man is not doing anything that deserves death or imprisonment. Agrippa said to Festus, this man could have been set free if he had not appealed to Caesar. Message version, Acts 26, 24 to 32. That was too much for Festus. He interrupted with a shout, Paul, you are crazy. You have read too many books, spent too much time staring off into space. Get a grip on yourself. Get back in the real world. But Paul stood his ground. With all respect, Festus, Your Honor, I am not crazy. I am both accurate and sane in what I am saying. The king knows what I am talking about. I am sure that nothing of what I have said sounds crazy to him. He has known all about it for a long time. You must realize that this wasn't done behind the scenes. You believe the prophets, don't you, King Agrippa? Don't answer that. I know you believe. But Agrippa did answer, keep this up much longer and you'll make a Christian out of me. Paul, still in chains, said, that's what I'm praying for, whether now or later, and not only you, but everyone listening today, to become like me, except of course for this prison jewelry. The king and the governor, along with Bernice and their advisers, got up and went into the next room to talk over what they had heard. They quickly agreed to Paul's innocence, saying, there's nothing in this man deserving prison, let alone death. Agrippa told Festus he could be set free right now if he hadn't requested the hearing before Caesar. As we reflect on Paul's courage and clarity, we notice how he speaks with calm conviction even when misunderstood. Let us consider Agrippa's response. Do you think that in such a short time you can persuade me? This is a reminder that many come close to faith but stop short. What phrase or moment here touches my heart? Let us talk to God about what stands out and ask Him for the courage to speak His truth with love, like Paul. Let us bring before Him anyone in our life who is almost persuaded and needs God's light. Sovereign Lord, give me Paul's courage to speak your truth with grace. Open the hearts of those who are near the kingdom and help me reflect your love faithfully in every conversation. Amen. As we rest quietly in God's presence, let His boldness and compassion settle in our spirit. Let us allow Him to form in us a heart that testifies faithfully regardless of how others respond.